He's day 38. Oh man, like 2 more days after this, man. Um, Yesterday I was speaking about. I was trying to speak to the men, trying to be more direct to them in terms of how they can start turning situations around in their lives, with their women. Because the reality is, we're all sick. You know what I'm saying? It's not like uh, the women are sick, but the men aren't sick. We're all sick, so I can't legitimately sit here from my perspective and say, "Hey, women, step your game up because y'all are such a foundation in terms of what men can build with. Y'all are like the clay, and clay is amazing because you shape it into the most beautiful things. It needs hands to be like it needs hands. So man is those hands. Like think about procreating. That's like you always have to come back to that. I think if we always come back to procreating, I get it. People want to live lives without thinking about the next generation, but I believe that's why our world's fucked up. So for a second, and anytime I'm in the room, you always know, G is thinking about next generation. G is thinking about the youths. So you come back to how do we make youths? The nigga gotta fuck you. Like he gotta put his dick inside you, and he has to get like he has to let go of all his kids and drop them inside your belly. You know what I'm saying? You didn't choose that. You didn't choose for the sperm. You didn't choose none of that. You didn't choose the winner of like you know what I'm saying? All you did, you sat there as clay and you allowed him in terms to build something inside you. And we worship y'all for y'all being in a sense Mother Earth, the landscape for such creative and amazing art to be formed. I am art. My dad's art on the canvas of my mom, if you want to take it symbolically. But the literal understanding of that between now the roles of man and women as they continue to build in their relationship is of the exact same move. Men understand that when you plant that seed, you can't stop now. You planted the seed in her head, in her belly. Yeah, understand women are like that. So as soon as you plant a seed, yo baby, yo, we gonna take over the world. Now she started thinking about, oh, I'm gonna be queen of the world now. Da 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 da. But if you're planting the seed and say, baby, we need to get ourselves into the position to be able to take over the world. And she's like, okay, what do I need to do internally to grow? What do I need to do to put myself? You know what I mean? So just the language of how you speak to your women, y'all gotta step that up. And at the same time, like I said, we're both sick. So I understand that there may be men who's using the right language, speaking the right things to the girl or woman or whatever that you're trying to build with. She may be damaged from previous relationships or how she was raised or whatever the case may be. And you're dealing with all that back and forth. So it's for you as the man to decide when you want to deal with the back and forth or understand that there's other chicks out here. But you need a chick to build. You can't build by yourself in terms of next generation. You're always going to need a chick. There's always going to be chicks there. When we ain't trying to do it in no violent, stupid ways, like how previous generations have done it. Prearranged marriages and all these things. These things are great in terms of internally a family having certain rules that they all agree with. But we understand we're all individuals. And what may work for one family member may not work for another family member. So when I'm talking about creating families and building for the next generation, I'm talking about when you as a man know exactly what you wanted for your life, and there's certain women around you who see what you want and want to build with you, so you tell them the right things that you need in order for them to build with you, and they either make that decision to fuck with it or not. But when you tell them BS lies and you tell them this and you tell them all these other things, you end up being a fuckboy. You're afraid. You're afraid to speak truth. You're afraid to rep what you really rep. Next thing you know, these bitches are still going to rep the lie that you rep. Next thing you know, your due diligence spiritually, physically, and how you move emotionally with her, gonna have her fucked, and now she don't want to fuck with you. And you're like, how? I'm having problem with these bitches. I'm having problem with these hoes. And you start saying these hoes ain't loyal and all this shit. You didn't tell them the reality from the jump, man, and you're afraid to because this society doesn't allow you to preach what you want to practice. So, think about that. Think about then, what do I gotta do infrastructure-wise to put myself in the position to be able to holler at these girls the way I truly want to? Maybe you figure that out, then maybe we can actually talk as man them. But right now, a lot of the niggas around me, I don't really have time for y'all no more because you guys still want to live and lie, and only truth lasts forever. So I ain't really trying to fuck with it because I can fuck with you guys right now, but in 20 years, you niggas are going to be ain't shit. And I'm going to be doing things, you niggas going to be leeching on me because I'm the only nigga doing things because I'm the only nigga trying to live truth. I don't have time for that. So at this point in time, I realized through this fast, through my consistent dedication to research and knowledge and innovation, that I have to champion something that's going to look mean and arms to the man them who want to be around. But you guys aren't pushing the cart. I use this example, this is the last thing I'm going to say quick. I use this example all the time. I've heard it a few different places, but I always heard it be used different ways. GSC is a cart. It's my cart. And in a recent example about the same cart thing about movements, the person was saying, when it's your movement, when it's your business, that cart, you're not just pushing it. You're actually not even pushing it. It's attached to your back with a string, tethered, and you're pulling it. So you feel the weight in a different way. You can't move unless you pull that cart. So when you have niggas sitting in your cart, they better be moving and pushing the cart, even if they're sitting on the side with one foot hanging over, just moving with their one foot. But they got to be doing something. If they're not, you got to get them up the cart because you're pulling it. You can't move if you got extra people not doing their work for your movements. So at this point in time, it's very clear what is required for music growth. Everyone knows it. The internet is out there. I don't really need to be telling each individual person what they need to do to grow, but at least if you come to me with an open heart of saying, G, and more of like a sensei move, because G, this is your movement, so where do you feel I can play the best role based on these resources that I am truthfully showing you that I have available for your movement? If you don't come to me like that, I feel like you're coming to sit on a cart because it's going uphill. Well, nigga, I don't care if both of your legs are broken. I'm tossing you off the cart. You can sit there, we'll chill, sit there. We'll go make it all the way up to the top. Maybe up there's a cart. I'll come back and grab you because you can't walk. But I am not carrying dead weight. That is not this move. This is everybody carry their own cross. This is everybody carry their own weight. This is self-made movements. So please, understand this. Understand that in your relationships. Understand that with everything you want to achieve in life. You have to be willing to take the first step. And when you see other people moving in the same direction you are and you want to join with them, you have to be willing to push more than they're stepping forward, or they're not going to see the benefit of fucking with you. And then you're going to feel a ways of them feeling a ways, and that's how it always goes. So, you don't know. Think about that.